What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Day in the Life podcast. Today, we're going to dial into some football or soccer.
Soccer's good.
Soccer's good.
Let's stick with soccer.
That's a
Either
little,
or, yeah.
it's a little controversial. We'll get into that a bit later. So, we have Ben here. Introduce yourself.
All right. What's up, guys? My name is Benjamin Wahba. I'm the president of Montreal United Football Club. We compete at some of the highest levels. We sign some of the best players. We have some of the best facilities, like you see behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit about what we do. We are a development club. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit.
Okay, so let's start with you. We'll start with your beginning, your life story. How did you start? Were you born here?
Yeah.
Uh,
So I was born here. My roots are from Egypt.
okay.
So that's it. My family comes from Egypt. I'm first generation, I guess, Canadian.
Yeah.
So the first with my siblings from our family to be born here. Um, and in Egypt, they play is
Yeah.
football. All they play is soccer. So
Yeah.
that's something that was instilled in us as kids. Me personally, I've been playing since I was 3
Okay.
here in
Wow.
Canada. And I still play ever since. And that's it. It's quickly become my passion. So I love soccer, and I knew I had to do something more than just play in it. So here we are.
Okay, so you said you started playing at 3. Was it like your dad that really got you into it? Like, was it you yourself? You always loved the sport. It
I
was
think
in you.
it actually started at a young age. Back in elementary school, I remember we actually used to play in the playground. We used to play soccer,
Okay.
and the games got heated a bit sometimes. But
Yeah.
I think that's where I really kind of fell in love with the game, just on a simple level. Deking some guys out here and there, and it really stuck with me ever since.
Okay. So what school did you go to? If
Yeah, so I went to a elementary school in the West Island. It's called Margaret Manson
okay.
Elementary School. Maybe like a 2-minute drive from my house.
Uh
So
huh.
I used to always be over there, and that's where the legendary soccer games. That's where it all started for me.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And for high school, did you ever play for the team? And even when you were 3, did you play for teams like with schools or for the city?
I did. So I played for both.
Hmm.
Um, After elementary school, went to high school. Went to Beaconsfield High School, so BHS.
Okay.
Played on their soccer teams. I think for 2 years. And during that time, I was also playing high level for City as well.
Okay.
I played for Lakeshore Soccer Club.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I live in that area, so that was the club I've been with ever since I was a kid. So that's my hometown club.
Yeah. So what was your favorite position? What did you start with
Oh
as a
man,
little kid, and how did you grow through like all these different types of positions? And what's like your main position now? You would say.
and that's a good question. I mean, I started. As a kid, you play everywhere.
Yeah.
As a kid, you play everywhere, and there's not really positions. You're just kind of chasing the ball. But
Pretty much.
as I grew older, I transitioned to left wing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm right-footed. So my thing was I always liked to cut in and actually instead of scoring, I was more of a playmaker. So I quickly learned. I would realize I would look back after every season and analyze how the season went, and I'd always be high up there or top assister the uh, in the team.
Nice. So you're not
Um,
selfish.
I guess
Yeah.
not, but all that to say, I was never really bagging in goals. I was bagging assists. So I realized I was more of a pass first kind of player. So eventually, I took maybe 5 years ago or something the decision to switch my position to right back. So using my right foot, but for more passing. So now I can
Mm-hmm.
see the whole field in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. I love it. I can make my passes, and I have a little more time on the ball, and it's nice.
Okay. When you play,
Yeah.
generally, there's you obviously played for a bunch of different teams.
Okay.
Like, were there any players that like you looked up to, or like their work ethic that like some teammates you had that you had a lot of respect for, or you always had a good work ethic?
Man,
You loved it.
it's tough to think of like an idol that I had. I remember, on a different interview, I couldn't answer this question either, but
Okay.
um, like I was always the type of player that wasn't really like a complainer. Like
Hmm.
I always try to go into any team with a good spirit and try to befriend all my teammates and stuff. I think that's a quality here at Montreal United that we look for is someone that's gonna come in and really gel well with the guys, and
Mhm.
so that's always what I tried to be as a player. I try to be friends with the guys, and that's it. I mean, that's kind of the mentality that I like to bring into the teams that I'm with. In terms of player idols, I mean, at right back, I would say um, Ashraf Hakimi or Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
So some pacey fullbacks. They're great at what they do. So
Okay. So you said you started at 3. Until what age would you say that you started seeing like, okay, I might not keep going to the pros, or when did you like more so stop playing?
yeah, so good question. So, I mean, I don't know if my goal was ever to go pro.
Okay.
I just wanted to do the best I can and
So,
see where it
so you was
took
really
me.
like the love, like you really
Yeah,
just had a
I
love for
just
the sport.
exactly. I mean, I just loved it, and that was it. Like I just wanted to see where it would take me. The goal, I never really had it set in my heart to go pro,
Hmm.
but it's a fun adventure. I mean, look, I still play. I'm 22 now, turning 23,
Yeah.
and I still play. So yeah, I mean, I love every minute of it.
Okay. And at one point where I could ask you, like, did you want to transition? So you always, mainly you were the player at the beginning, but at one point did you want to become like, have your team or like start that, get into really that journey of being like more so the manager and you overlook things?
Yeah, it's a funny story how Montreal United came to be. I mean, uh, because I still play.
Hmm.
Um, 2021, we started the club, and by we I mean myself. It was a loan mission
Okay.
at the time,
We'll get into
and
that.
it really, like I tell everyone, it happened naturally. There was no like I really didn't do anything. I didn't have a set plan going into it to start a club.
Hmm.
All we wanted to do was set up a friendly team in the winter, because I figured, we as players, we play in the summer. Soccer is a summer sport.
Yeah.
But in the winter, which is roughly 6 months here in
Yeah.
Canada, what's there to do? So it hit me. I was like, okay, let me look online, see if there's any leagues happening
Leagues.
or
Yeah.
indoor sports we can play. And, and I realized there's indoor soccer leagues happening here. So I was like, okay, let me grab a couple buddies and,
Hmm.
just some friends, just a way to stay active.
And who starts these leagues? Like, is it just like community, like the
Yeah,
cities, or?
communities like
Okay.
communities that started, um, and so that's it. So I was just looking for a way to stay active. So got a group of buddies together. We started a team, and at
Hmm.
the same time I was in CEGEP and studying graphic design and media. So I remember one of the guys asking me, one of the guys on the team, he said, "Why don't we start a Instagram, just a private Instagram?
Okay.
We'll have fun with it. We'll post the scores, that kind of thing." So I said, "Sure." I was the guy taking care of the whole thing, so I figured I'll start the Instagram,
Yeah.
and that meant we had to post scores and graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was studying graphic design, so I think, the because of my studies, the posts looked professional, like
Hmm.
better than some top quality pro clubs. In all honesty,
Yeah.
and this isn't even coming from my own mouth. This is opinions from those around me.
That's
And
nice.
so we never went private with the account; it was always public. And so I remember as our season progressed, we would start getting flooded with DMs
Yeah.
from random people who we didn't know saying, "How can I join? How can I join? How can I join?"
Nice.
And so, it only took me like a month of constant, I mean, every day
Yeah.
we were getting DMs from interested Montrealers that wanted to play soccer,
Yeah.
saying, "How can I join?" So that's when it hit me. Let's let's take this to the next level. So I started Montreal United FC.
So for the name Montreal United, how did you get into that? Because Montreal, I'd say it's a very like
Yeah,
diverse place. There's
yeah.
all types of people. What made you go with Montreal United FC?
I mean, you said it best, diversity, right? So there's all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds here in Montreal.
Hmm.
Um, so how can we capitalize on that diversity? How can we really include everybody?
Yeah.
We're calling ourselves United. I mean, there's no club called Montreal United here, so there was that void,
Wow.
and we saw that opportunity, and I think the name really works. I think the branding that we have is great. So
Yeah.
I think we really coined it for ourselves.
So it started pretty much with the Instagram that started getting rolling. And after that, once you were getting all these texts, how did you move from there and like started building the team? And
A lot of paperwork.
yeah, how's the paperwork to like join the team or like
So,
go?
so I mean, the first thing we did was we had to register it as a company. So,
Okay.
so we got all that legal paperwork done. Um, so then from there, we were able to create our website, create our brand. Um, again, by we, I mean me. And the reason I say that is
Yeah.
because it was a labor of love. Like there was so many nights where I would get like 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours of sleep because
Yeah.
I'm on the computer designing logos, designing merch, whatever it is,
Endless nights.
talking to suppliers, all this stuff. But it's all a blessing, man. Look, what I'll say is, yeah, I mean, we got the website, and then from there we were able to have online registration.
Yeah. Mhm.
So in the summer of 2022,
Okay.
we opened our first like public season to people who we didn't know because it started as just my friends and I.
Like by public season, it's like tryouts, or you just did a bunch of different teams.
No, it was open registration because
Okay.
we weren't like a competitive team. That wasn't the goal. It was just
Okay.
it's just friendly teams.
Nice.
So it was open registration. Anyone could join. So we did that. We had 2 teams, and then from 2 teams, then now we've hit 11 teams as of this year,
Wow.
2024. So in a span of 2 years, we've grown to 11 teams. So thank God for that.
That's really great. So how was it finding and building all these other teams? Was it really hard? Like you said, a lot of people were interested.
At the start, it was not easy.
Okay.
We had those people DMing us, yeah, but whenever there's a fee attached or something, that interest quickly can go away,
Mhm.
right? So we had to really work on the branding, the professionalism. One thing you'll notice about Montreal United FC is we take pride in our branding. So when you come to
Yeah.
Montreal United, you can feel like, wow, I'm in a professional atmosphere. This is better in the sense of the social media and the branding, the content, the interviews. Everything we're doing is reminiscent of like a professional football club.
Mhm.
So that's like a uniqueness about us is you as a player can come to our club and feel like a superstar
Yeah.
because you didn't get that anywhere else, and now we're giving it to you.
Okay. So, what was the hardest thing to get through since the beginning? Like you started, you said you passed endless nights, you didn't sleep.
Yeah.
But at what point were you saying like, where you almost gave up, but like you kept going?
Man, it's tough when there's maybe like a change in staff, I'd say, in the
Mm.
club.
Mhm.
So now, obviously it went from just being myself to now we have over a dozen staff members in the club. Um, but yeah, I think whenever there's a change in staff, that always hits a bit hard because you come to love the staff members, and the players love them too, and so they really integrate themselves in the club. So not for any bad reason, but whenever there's a change that has to happen,
Mhm.
it really impacts the club. So we have to find ways to quickly replace and make sure that it's done in a way where it doesn't impact anyone negatively.
Mhm.
So that's always a bit of a challenge. But apart from that, I mean, thank God everything runs smoothly. We've had those 3 years now of like practice, I'd say,
Yeah.
leading up to where we are now, as one of the top clubs in Quebec, I'd say, um, to work on and tweak those little things.
That's pretty sick. When you started, did you really start? So you said your first team was with a bunch of your friends, but when you
Yeah.
wanted to take this serious, did you bring some of the friends along for the ride, or you didn't really want to
No, I
bring
mean,
that?
I don't think any of us had the intention of going past 1 year together. It was just that
Okay,
we just wanted to keep active that winter and see what happens.
that's
A
crazy.
lot of them, moved on to different jobs, or they were busy, things
Hmm.
like that. And it's all good. It's all normal. But also, what really changed is the direction that we wanted to go with the club.
Yeah.
Um, because again, in that first year, we realized, okay, we want to take this to a different level.
Yeah.
So we did a complete rebrand of the team.
Hmm.
Um, we changed the logo up, we changed the team colors, we changed everything, everything,
What
everything.
was the logo before?
The logo before, it was a circular logo with an eagle
Okay.
in the middle, and it was blue and gold, or blue and yellow, kind of
Okay.
like Boca Juniors.
Oh,
And
okay. Why did you go away from that?
I just felt it, it it was time for a revamp, time to, you know, we changed the direction of the club.
Yeah.
Now let's change the look of the club to fit the direction that we want to go. So, you know, we that's what we did. And so the new badge here, it's a shield type
Yeah.
logo, um, but we still took parts of the history. So you'll see here actually on the shield,
Yeah.
there's birds on the bottom corner. That's reminiscent of the eagle that we had at the
Nice.
start. The stripes here are reminiscent of the original boroughs of Montreal.
Nice.
Have the skyline over here,
Oh wow, I
right
didn't
here.
even
So this is
realize.
actually a little detail. The Montreal skyline is on our badge, and then, you know, Montreal United, and the crown on top to symbolize prestige, royalty. That's what you can expect at our club.
Now it's really nice. Now that you like really broke it down, it
Everything's symbolic here,
yeah,
man.
it's really nice. And was that in the first year, like the second year? When did you guys rebrand?
It was during that first season,
Okay.
toward the end of that first season, because we started in a winter season, like I mentioned. So we knew that going into, so we started in winter 2021.
Mhm.
Okay, so winter 2021, it shifted to 2022 in January. So we were preparing for summer 2022, the
Okay.
following season. So
Okay.
once that winter season's done, like it's a matter of weeks, and then we're jumping into a summer season outdoors.
Mhm.
And that was the first public season. So it was that was hectic because it was the first time working with the public and really opening this as a business.
Mhm.
So all that paperwork, all that legwork, the designing, all this done by one person, myself
Yeah.
at the time. It was crazy. That was all during that first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sick. It's always amazing to hear someone grow in their story.
Thank you.
And for you, when did you really start expanding? So at first it was you were a lone soldier, but when did you start expanding, and how was it for you looking for other coaches, like trainers?
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
You know, so we started in that summer 2022 season with one coach,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a great job helping bring this club to where it can be.
Okay.
I have experience coaching, but, you know, with the work that I was doing on the administrative side, it was just too much to maybe coach at the same time.
Okay.
So we got in contact with a coach. He messaged us that he was interested in the project. You know, we ran a couple interviews. We discussed about it, and he really helped us bring the club to, you know, set the building blocks for the club. So we really, really appreciate the work of all the former coaches and staff members and players that we've been able to work with.
Yeah.
But that's always been finding coaches is always a challenge because there's few of them here on the island, and, you know, you want the best quality, right? So it's always a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Finding
How did
good
you go
coaches.
through that? Like for quality, did you have your own personal style that you wanted to go for, or
I
like?
mean, look, it helped because I'm coming from a coaching background at the same time as
Okay,
playing.
nice.
So I've been able to coach youth teams and all this. So I have an idea of what I look for in a coach. And luckily enough, you know, the coach that messaged us, he checked those boxes for us. So
Nice.
it was great. We were able to get what we wanted, and you know, we had a great coach for the time.
And now, how many staff do you guys have, and what?
Oh man. Right now we have about a dozen,
Okay.
a dozen staff members, from team doctors to physical preparation coaches.
Nice.
We have team podiatrists. We have administrators, managers, head coaches, assistant coaches. Wow. Administrators on the back end.
Wow.
We have photographers, videographers,
Wow.
all kinds of people in media. So yeah, thank God, man. It's all a blessing, bro. It's all a blessing.
That's nice. I wanted to transition this into the season. So you guys, this season you guys just started. It's your third game, right?
So yeah, we just started our third. Well, we just played our first 3 games of the 2024 season.
Okay. And how did that go for you guys?
Man, this season we're flying.
Yeah.
So we started the season hot with a 6-0 win.
Nice.
Um,
Against who? Against what team?
against Rivière des Prairies,
Okay.
RDP.
Nice.
Last season, it was intense, the matches that we played against them, to say the least. Intense in the sense where, like, sometimes fights break out.
Wow.
It gets intense. I mean, especially when you're playing over there, I find it's a hostile environment for our guys. But we really revamped our team from last season.
Yeah.
We came in, we signed some of the best guys, and I'll talk about that a little bit after.
Okay.
We came in, and we're coming into this season with one goal, and that's to win the cup. And we have everything possible to do that. So we went in there, a 6-0 win. It was a statement win in the first game of the season. After that, who did we play? We played Oro La Piedad, they're called,
Okay.
which is a Mexican club.
Oh, nice.
Another strong club, actually. We had some intense games against them last year, not in the sense of fighting, but in the sense of, like, they're a strong team. Again, took care of them, 6-0 win.
Nice.
And then actually this past Friday, you joined us to come watch a nice game. Who was it against? Yeah, against FC Anjou, where we took care of business 7-1. So these aren't normal soccer scores, by the way. This is a testament to the work we're putting in. But our guys out there are nuts. They're crazy.
Who would you say, or what team would you say it's your rival? Like,
oh man,
they give you the biggest headache. Is it Rivière des Prairies, or there's someone even better? They're just.
In all honesty, I can't tell you if there's a rival or not, because I simply don't think there's a team that matches the quality that we have, and that's not me trying to be cocky in any way. In all honesty, I think we're a step above the level of competition that we play at this season. But our goal is always to go up. So
you guys are pretty much like Real Madrid right now.
Fingers crossed. I mean, we'll see how the season goes, but I don't want to jinx anything, but I think so. I think we're good enough.
That's nice. How do you guys find refs? Do you guys like look for agencies, or like are there volunteers?
How do we find
refs for the games and everything?
No, that's all taken care of by our league. So they take care of the fields. The only fields we take care of, we have our training facility here. It's a beautiful facility, but everything else in terms of game day is taken care of by our league. Ref, field, time, date, all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for recruitment, how does it work year to year? Do you guys cut people often? Do you guys recruit new guys often? How does that work?
So I mean, with the competitive direction we take, we took with our club.
I would say, how did you guys start? Let's say year one, and how did you guys progress into year three?
So that's a good question. I mean, like I mentioned earlier before, we never had the intention of being a competitive club at the time of us starting.
Yeah.
So, it was open registration. Come, play friendly games, and, you pay a fee, just like any other club here in Quebec. Fortunately, the system here in Canada is you have to pay to play. But, you pay a fee, and you're in, automatically, guaranteed. So people like that. But when we decided to take the direction of let's go competitive, let's dominate, we obviously have to have a proper structure for that. There's a lot more work that has to be put into that because now you're talking the big leagues. So we had to match that and even go further. If a player wants to join Montreal United, there's a few ways they can do it. Number one is coming to our seasonal tryouts.
Yeah.
So for this first team, sorry, they're not behind me, but for the first team at our club, we hold tryouts in December.
Okay.
So, think about it. The work that we're putting in here, a team that starts in summer, the tryouts are in December. So we host our tryouts, and it's usually a 2-day camp. You come, you train. It's intense.
Anyone can show up.
Anyone can show up. Its registration is on the website.
Nice.
That's how it works. The second way of joining is if you miss the tryouts, there's a form you can fill out, an online application on our website. it's not like an excuse to not come to tryouts, though. The best way and the most effective way to come, so that the coaches can see you in person,
Of course.
is
Showcase yourself, man.
showcase yourself in person. But oftentimes, I mean, oftentimes, some people maybe can't make it for any reason, so we don't exclude. We don't want to miss out on talent either, just because they couldn't make it. So there's an online player integration form on our website. So there's a section called recruitment.
Nice.
You can click that, player integration, and then you have all the details there. It's a form. You fill it out. You put your videos in there, and the coaches, everyone analyzes it. And if you're lucky, you get a reply by email.
Nice. Do you have any cool stories of like a crazy video that you received, or like any specific player that like
Yeah.
attracted
So
you?
I mean, we have, like I said, the superstar talent we have on this team, man. It's crazy.
How was that? Yeah.
Starting off with our goalkeeper, I have to say, our goalkeeper, Makudia Diop, he is incredible. He applied online for a position at the club.
Okay.
And, when I saw his highlight reel, we signed him from the first division in Senegal, so professional league in Senegal. So when I saw his highlight reel and the coaches saw his highlight reel, the first clip was him in a 60,000 seat stadium.
Wow.
So right off the bat, we knew, okay, you're coming with us.
Yeah.
And so I spoke to him privately. The coaches spoke to him. He loved the project. He loved Montreal United. He loved the brand. And so he's in it. He's in it with us, and we see him at the games. He dominates, man. This guy dominates.
So you really get people from everywhere, right?
Yeah. So we get guys from all over the world that come to Montreal United.
Okay.
We also go out for games all around the world. Last season, after the success we had, we got invited to 3 tournaments, one in Madrid, one in Barcelona, and one in Dominican Republic.
Nice.
We didn't end up going on any of them, just for internal reasons at the time. But the goal for us this season is to continue expanding, obviously to win the trophy here first, and then hopefully do a postseason tour to be announced soon. But we hope to play some top clubs here that we don't get the chance to play in the season. And then maybe go abroad, maybe to the States for a bit, to play some teams over there.
So how is it? So there's obviously people from everywhere. How important is it for you to keep everyone united and on the same page with all these different?
It's a challenge. I mean, look, you're dealing with all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of ethnicities, and all kinds of attitudes. So it's always a challenge. Thankfully, my job is made easier because the coaches are the ones that deal with it firsthand. Yeah. They're the ones on the pitch with the guys. But we really do a great job of making these guys gel together. So, right away when you join Montreal United, you'll notice every team, no matter if it's the first team or a recreational team, you'll notice it's a family. So we are a very family-oriented club in that sense. You'll come here and you'll feel like you're part of a family. You'll feel like you're part of a brotherhood. Or, hopefully we have a women's team in the future, a sisterhood. Nice. That's the vibe we want to give off to the people, so that, they stick with us and they enjoy themselves when they're here. A player that's not happy, that's when you're going to see the issues come. And thankfully we haven't seen that here.
And why should someone come play for Montreal United?
Man, I could talk about that for hours, but look, what I'll say is you'll get the best gear, first of all. I mean, take a look. You get the best gear, you get professional facilities all around. You get a true program catered to you. So you have a training schedule prepared for you. Nice. You have not just one coach that's a volunteer. No. You have a full team of staff, a technical team, a scouting team. You have everything at your disposal. You have all the resources to grow. And like I said, we're a development club, so we're different than other clubs. If you want to make it to the next level, if you want to go pro, you come to us because we can make it happen. We also have agents that work in the club as well. So nice. We send guys to Europe after every season.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how does it work for scouting? Do you guys get some of those, or?
So the way it works is we have agents that work within the club. So we have agreements with over 20 professional football clubs in countries like Spain, in countries like Portugal, Italy, Germany, so European countries
Nice.
that look for talent from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, when they look at Quebec, they look at Montreal United.
Wow.
We have exclusivity, so they come and look at our guys. So when you come to Montreal United, you can expect right away to be noticed by some of these professional clubs.
Sorry, I'm gonna ask you a question that I'm gonna ask all my guests is what's your perfect dial? And by dial, I mean what's the perfect day in your life? Where do you see this club moving forward to? And
Jeez.
what do you envision for this?
Big
For
question, man.
Montreal United. Yeah.
Big question. Okay. Where do I see myself? You know, where do I see Montreal United? Okay, so I see Montreal United at the top of Quebec soccer.
Nice.
That's where I see us in the future, and we're already on the way. We have right now a total following of over 50,000 across all our social media platforms, whether
Wow.
it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, even LinkedIn.
Wow.
We're popping right now, and you know we're doing pretty well. Montreal United, the word is spreading, so people know Montreal United, and people are getting to know Montreal United. I see some people at the malls actually wearing our gear, walking
Nice.
around when I go.
Nice. I'm gonna need to get myself a little.
No worries, we
Okay.
got you hooked up actually.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so where do I see Montreal United? Hopefully with a lot of trophies in the cabinet as
Yeah.
well. And you know, we don't want to stay at the level that we're at. We always want to grow more and higher and continue to influence the game here in as much as we can. Right now, you know, the divisions that we're in are great, but we always look forward. So we want to continue to go higher, do better,
Yeah.
and reach as high as we can in Quebec soccer.
Yeah. And soccer and football is a great sport. It's for everyone, and the more
Absolutely.
representation, the better.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah. And where could everyone find you one more time? All your
Yeah.
socials.
So let me tell you. So you can find us on Instagram at MTL United FC. So that's Instagram and TikTok. It's the same thing. YouTube as well. You can look us up, Montreal United FC or MTL United FC. You'll find us either way. And LinkedIn as well. You can find us Montreal United FC.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for dialing in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Of course.
See.
Before you end it,
What?
we did bring you a special gift.
Oh,
Let me. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
where is it? What is it?
So, thanks so much for having us on the show. We'd love to give you a free jersey here. This is
Nice.
our True Blue kit for the 2024 season. Show the camera.
Yeah. Got the
So
crown.
welcome to the United family. So you got all the best gear with you.
Yeah.
The
I love it.
2024 edition.
Man, it's really nice, man.
What do you think, man?
It's great. I love the blue, man. Blue. You can't go wrong with blue. And 7, I would go with 10, but I'm a mess.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
man.
but I love it, man. Thanks for
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, man.